Warning, the following podcast has been classified as insanely lucrative. Listener discretion is advised.
There's like 8 or 9, 10 different factors to figure out here. Okay, the first one is the manufacturing cost.
Your attention, please. Listening to the AM/PM podcast may cause recurring revenue streams and unfair advantages over your competitors. Other side effects may include fatter wallets, fired bosses, and longer vacations. Listen at your own risk. Here's your host, 7-figure entrepreneur and online marketing madman, Manny Coates. Manny Coates.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the AM/PM podcast. My name is Manny Coates, and I will be your host, and this is the show where we discuss how to generate recurring revenue streams 24 hours per day during the AM and the PM, hence the name of the show. Get it? AM/PM podcast. As a matter of fact, I was having myself a monstrous 24-ounce Frappuccino, one of those frozen coffees, while watching an episode of Silicon Valley. And while doing all of that, I was making money. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. So, this is Thursday Q&A, and as always, I am joined by my co-host, the amazing, the awesome, Guillermo Puyol. Guillermo, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, Manny. What's up, man? It's been a long time.
I know. It's been, we missed last week's Q&A. We got so busy. Can you even say what we've been up to?
Lots of good stuff, man. Lots of good stuff. I'm sure a lot of our listeners know what we've been up to, but if you don't know, you'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, I think we'll probably be making an announcement in the next 2 weeks, but we've been doing lots of cool stuff. But anyways, this is Thursday Q&A, and as always, we have 2 questions from the audience, and then we have Manny's 2 questions for Guy. It's just a customary thing that we do. Isn't that right, Guy?
Yes, sir, and we love it, right?
Well, I love it. I don't know about you. So, without further ado, I'm going to ask you your first question of the day, Guy. Are you ready?
No, but shoot.
Okay, first question. Guy, what do you do when a baby just stares at you in public? Like doesn't even blink, just maintains intense, aggressive eye contact with their dumb baby face. What do you do? What do you do in this situation?
Dumb baby face. You talk like a non-dad.
Really?
You know, I'm a dad of 3. Like maybe I'm an exception, but I think babies are pretty cute. So
you're avoiding the question. It's looking at you intently. It's staring at you. It's not even blinking. Okay? Aggressive eye contact. That's the way I think of it.
Is it a cute baby or a big baby?
It's
you know the difference, right? Because if it's a cute baby, they're like, oh, it's so cute. If it's an ugly baby, they're like, oh, it's so big.
Let's just assume it's not a cute baby.
I'll probably like scare it.
All right, Guy. You ready for the first real question?
Yeah,
of the
let's
day?
get serious.
All right, I'm ready. Hit me with it.
So this one comes from our website at ampmpodcast.com. It was actually submitted by Robert Haran for episode 42. That episode was about losing money to make money, some PPC strategies. And it says, Manny, what is your product cost all in, packaging, landed cost, etc.?
Okay, so he's just asking in general, what should people be expecting? Okay, so let's talk about these things, Guy. You can jump in if I forget any of these things.
Sure.
All right, there's probably, I don't know, there's like 8 or 9, 10 different factors to figure out here. Okay, the first one is the manufacturing cost. Okay, so you have the cost to actually make this product. Typically for us, it's in China. Okay, you might be getting it here in the U.S. So you got your manufacturing cost. Then you have your packaging. Okay, and that's going to include, the box or the poly bag, whatever it is that you're using. You're going to have your warning labels if you need those on there, right? Do not separate. Plastic bag may be hazardous, that kind of stuff. You need your made in China sticker, your FN SKU, that kind of stuff. Okay, just the packaging. But I include all of that as part of the manufacturing cost. So let's just assume that's part of the manufacturing cost. Then you got your shipping, whether you're shipping it over by sea, right, trying to save some money, or you're shipping it over via express air. That's typically the two main ways that you're going to be doing shipping. Then once it gets here, you have your import duty fees, right? So let's just assume that's going to be 5%. And it can vary. It could be from free and it can go up, I don't know, I've seen double-digit import duty fees. Then we've got FBA fees, right? You got referral fees. You've got your sponsored ad costs, and let's just assume that it's 10% ACOS, okay? I'm just making a lot of assumptions here so we can kind of figure out some numbers. And break out your calculator, by the way, because we might need it. And then finally, you've got returns, refunds, damage units, that kind of stuff. And I'm just going to throw out like a 2% rate, okay? It might be lower, it might be higher. So did I miss anything there in terms of total costs?
I don't think so, unless you want to consider the photography for the product, images, things of that nature, samples. But
right. So yeah, that's a good point. So then you still have your so photography might be one. Let's assume that you do those, so you save that money. But you're most likely going to have to, if you're just launching a product, you're going to have to get your reviews. So you're going to have to give away, essentially, or at least give away at a loss, a certain number of units. 20 units, 30 units, something like that. But I'm not factoring that part in because that only happens one time,
right.
Typically.
I think that's more of a launch cost than a product cost. So
right.
It's important to make the determination between the two.
Okay, so Guy, I'm going to go through this really fast. You got a calculator?
I do.
I'm going to go really fast. Okay, here we go. So let's just assume that the product costs $10 to make, and that's with packaging and everything, right? All right, manufacturing we know is going to be about $10. Okay, that includes the packaging. The shipping, let's just assume it's express air, $5. Import duty fees, 5% of the $10 is 50 cents. The FBA fees, we're going to say, are about $4. Referral fees are 15% of the 40, so that's going to be, $6. Sponsored ads, a cost of 10% is going to be 10% of 40% is $4. Refunds and returns, it's 2%, so it's super low. It's almost inconsequential. Let's just skip that. Let's assume that that's going to be a few cents, but we won't count that one right now. So where are we at, Guy? Did you get all that?
Yep. $29.50.
$29.50. All right, perfect. So our cost right now would be $29.50 on a $40 product. We can round that up to $30. That'll make up for those returns and stuff. So at $30, so we're still at that $10 margin that we usually like. Now that's assuming everything is great, right? Your ACOS is 10%. Your import duty fees aren't more than 5%. Your refund rate doesn't go through the roof, that kind of stuff. So that's how I would calculate all the fees. That's basically everything right there. And I might be missing something, and if I am, I apologize, but I think that's everything. Outside of little things like maybe setting up a website, or you're going to do brand registry or trademark registration. Again, that's all kind of a product launch, not product costs in general each time you reorder.
Right.
And you can get this cost way down if you start shipping stuff by sea, because that $5 cost per item could probably drop down to $2, maybe a little less per unit. So you could save a lot there. Is that cool? Did we answer that one quickly?
I think so. I think that will help Robert calculate his costs, and hopefully he has a great product to move forward with.
Excellent. Thank you, Robert, for the question. Appreciate it. Guy, let's go on to question number 2.
Ready for you.
You're ready for it? All right. Let me find a good question for you. How about this one, since you like children ones so much? If you could clone yourself, Guy, with a snap of your fingers, right? Like that. Now there's 3 of you, okay? Because you're always talking about you don't have enough time for stuff. Now there's 3 of you, but you all feel you're the original one. And would your wife be happy with this situation? Oh, and does this mean that you would have 15 kids in no time flat? You can answer those questions in any order you want.
Would I do it?
You suddenly got 2 more of you, and you're, one of them could take the kids to practice, the other one could work, the other one could be, having a romantic time with the wifey, but you all think you're the original.
No, man. There's only one original Guy. There's no room for 3 in this world.
You wouldn't do it?
No, I wouldn't do it, man.
Imagine. You guys could work out a pact, You could say, look, I'm going to be on vacation for these 10 days.
Man, if they only made a movie about that, right?
Wait, what movie was that?
Multiplicity, I think.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Maybe I should add that to my list and watch it, and then I'll probably be making money while doing that.
Cool.
All right. Question number 2 from the audience.
This one comes from Natasha. I'm sorry, Natasha. I believe it's Courtney Smith. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. And this is coming from the Amazon FBA High Rollers group on Facebook. This is our group.
What was the Facebook group? Let's just say it one more time.
Amazon FBA High Rollers.
Say it one more time.
Amazon FBA High Rollers.
There we go. Now we got some enthusiasm. All right. Question from Natasha.
So it says, if a keyword does well in the auto campaign and I select it to move into the testing or even winning campaign, do I then negative exact it on the auto campaign so that the auto can spend money on finding new keywords?
You made it sound so complicated, Guy. But all right, let me preface this. This was a question related to a previous podcast that we did, right? Which one was that? It was
episode 44 with Brian Bowman.
All right. So Brian Bowman was a fantastic episode. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't listened to it, check it out. It's about pay-per-click. He goes over some really, really cool strategies. And one of the strategies is to take your winning keywords and move them, from your automatic campaign and move them over to manual. So her question is in regards to that. So the question, I guess, is, will you bid against yourself if you're doing this, right? So I guess that's sort of the question. First of all, no, you're not going to be bidding against yourself. What you're going to want to do is you're going to bid a higher amount in the manual campaign that you move these winning keywords into. And that's then because of if everything else is equal, it should supersede your automatic campaign. So if you're bidding, let's say $1.07, $1.07 in your automatic, and then you bid $2.07 in your manual campaign, then that one should start pulling that traffic for that specific keyword phrase, the winning term that you are doing really well with in the automatic. If for some reason the manual campaign doesn't pick it up, hopefully the automatic one does. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You don't want to make it a negative keyword.
You do not want to make it a negative keyword. There's no sense. Because if you make it a negative keyword and you don't start getting the traffic for whatever reason in the manual campaign, you've kind of hosed yourself on your best keyword.
Right. So
that answers that question. It's simple. Sorry, Brian, if we answered this one before you did. We saw it posted on the FBA. FBA, what was it again, Guy?
FBA High Rollers.
Perfect. So it'll probably be answered by the time this episode rolls out. But anyways, those were the 2 questions for FBA Q&A Thursday. I don't know why I added FBA. I think you said it so many times now.
No, I said FBA High Rollers.
You are in a good mood today. All right, yeah. Guy. I think we need to say goodbye and let the listeners get on to the next episode.
And before we say goodbye, we should let users or remind our listeners how to submit their own questions. You can submit your own question and record it so that we can play it on the air. At ampmpodcast.com, there's a link on the right-hand side that says send Manny your question. So you can write it in there, or you can record it, or you can post your questions on the comments on our website at ampmpodcast.com or on our Facebook group, which is the Amazon FBA High Rollers.
Perfect. Yeah, send me a voicemail, guys. That would be cool. And if you like this episode or any of the other episodes, give me a little review on iTunes. That would be cool. All right, guys, that is it. My name is Manny Coates. I am your host, and this guy over here that's talking, who are you?
I am an FBA high. No, my name is Guillermo Puyol.
I knew you were going to do it. Guillermo Puyol, say goodbye.
Bye, guys.
You've been listening to the AM/PM podcast hosted by Manny Coates. For more information, insider tools, and to get the resources mentioned in this episode, visit ampmpodcast.com.